Welcome one, welcome all, welcome to another exciting episode of Victory in the West. Today we battle in the Bocage. This is going to be a difficult one. We have a lot of prestige with which to purchase specialists and or step upgrades to our units, and I think we're going to want to do that. Specifically some anti-tank steps if we don't already have them. So let's take a look, zoom out a little bit and see our situation here. So, in the previous scenario, we were able to capture Caen, and we were able to capture Saint-Lô, but we're now tasked with capturing Coutances and the airfield that we actually lost last time. The only other things we technically need is this one and that one. So this front really only needs to extend one hex, but you can see that might be difficult with the current situation. So, the last thing that we want to do is get down here to Breakout. Down in, what is that, Bordeaux, essentially? Or am I thinking... Yeah, that's Bordeaux, isn't it? Or... No, I'm sorry, this is zoomed in a lot more than I thought it is. That's not Bordeaux. So, yeah, that's just the bottom of the Cotentin Peninsula. So that's where we're trying to get to. It seems like the only way that's going to happen is if we can, early on, breach this river and get in behind all of these guys, as many of them as we possibly can. If we can get in behind them, cut them off, and then run the tanks down to the Breakout by the end of the scenario, we might do that. Now, it's only a 6-turn scenario. We're definitely going to use this B26 asset. We also have one saturation strike for the whole scenario, which we might use early on, like right here. That doesn't seem like a great situation. We might use it right here to soften up this area. But in the meantime, let us see what we can buy. We have no HQ reserves to deploy for this Canadian infantry. Apparently we can give them UK steps, though. But more important than that, they need 17-pounder anti-tank. Because they are facing just an awful lot of enemies. Now, what else do we give them? Cromwell's are defense of 5. Priests give them 6 plus artillery shifts. Fireflies are much better. That's a good one. We definitely need to hold Caen. So I think we're going to pay the exorbitant 25 to give these guys Fireflies. Whew. That's rough. Now, we also need... these guys actually have good specialists, but they just need steps. Do we give them another one? I think with this group we do. And I think we need to... Yeah, we took so many losses last time. Oh, good. We have some in reserve. Oh, do we have... Oh, we have the Canadian and the British. I see. Well, that's interesting. Why are there 5 reserves for this one? But there's only... Oh, because there's plenty of UK infantry steps in reserve, but you can only have so many. Okay, well, I'm spreading them around a little bit. Because they were beat the hell up. This is only defending against... Well, no, it's defending against people coming in right there, too. Okay. Let's give them a little bit. And a 17-pounder. I'm giving everybody on this entire front a 17-pounder. If I can. Because, holy crap. If they don't have it, they're really, really in trouble. I think that is the most important choice we've made so far, is making sure that there's no breakout and destroying the British HQs back here. Okay, all that having been said, our armor's going to need to counter-push. So we have none in reserve for the British armor there. Oof, we're going to have to pay through the nose. Oh, we can't? There's no armor steps that we can buy? Oh, there is? Why is there armor steps available to the Canadian 1st, but not to the British 2nd? That's really interesting. What is that? UK armor combines with infantry to create armor steps. You need 2 of them for full... Yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry. This is at full strength. That's why it's burping at me. Okay. So this armor unit definitely needs to be improved. It's very expensive, but we're going to do it. Now, what else do we give them? We give them the ability to attack better, maybe Cromwell's. Priests also allow them to get artillery shifts, which is useful. These guys aren't super strong. Now, if we give them commandos, that will reduce their losses that they take. Also very valuable. You know, I'm thinking one more thing has to be given to these guys in Caen to defend. One more... what's a good defensive force? So these are engineers. We probably don't need engineers because those are for attacking. Churchills also help give extra armor shifts and an extra 8 on defense. I think that would be better than almost anything else we can give there. Now, the artillery shifts seem pretty valuable too, but I wonder if those are only useful on the attack. Do a quick check here. Artillery shift in combat. Yeah, units themselves cannot contribute. It's reserved for certain specialists. It's only an offensive shift. That just as I thought I remembered correctly. So giving them artillery isn't super useful because it's only useful if you're planning to attack. So we will give them the Churchills, which is very good for defense, and it helps counter the enemy armor shift. Oh boy, this is going to be rough. And now these guys have 17 pounders, good. If we have to stick somebody else into Caen instead, I want to make sure they're able to take over. These guys also have 17 pounders as well. Maybe we give them Churchills just as a backup. Let's hold off. We've got to spend prestige elsewhere as well. And we do still have steps we can dole out. Now, these guys are out of range. Oh no. That's disappointing. All these guys are out of range. Because the US first is in the wrong place. Let's move it. Right? You can move it freely during the prepare for battle step. If we put it here, that gets everybody in range. Okay, now we can give 3 extra free infantry steps from reserve. What about the rest of the Americans? Are they all... Nope, not these guys. We don't have any extra in reserve for them. Dang it. We could buy some steps, and these guys probably need it because they are actually in a vulnerable position here. So let's give them just some regular steps to help defend. And maybe artillery? I don't think they need it, honestly. What they would need is the ability to entrench, but they can't really do that. What's the cheapest thing we can give them? M10s? Actually really useful on defense. It doesn't do anything in this case because there's no enemy tanks. Let's come back to them. Because honestly, they'll probably be okay. They've got reserves here that can help fight that. These guys are defending across a river, so they're probably okay. I'm just going to get them to 4. These guys are probably okay because the only ones that can attack them are these guys across a river. Now, the armor here is in the wrong place. I could just have 4 guys attack this and crush it, but that's not a good use of my time and effort. I need the armor to drive right through this square, their hex. And then I need this these 2 armor needs to drive through here and wrap around. These 2 needs to drive through here and wrap around this way so that reinforcements can't pour into that gap. Now, that means my armor needs to be improved with everything it can get. We have nothing to deploy from the HQ, and apparently 2 is the maximum number of specialists they can have. So we've got to choose what to give these guys for specialists. They've already got the Sherman, which just gives them extra attack and armor shifts. We have engineers and Shermans. We have armored cars and priests. I wonder if we don't need more... These guys don't have anything. Oh, that's a problem. Let's give them something. So a DD Sherman is amphibious, not suppressed on naval landings and major river crossings. Not super useful, and it's more expensive than the regular Shermans. So the fact that... Oh, we don't have an armor step for these guys, do we? No. We're going to buy them enough. Now they're full up. They can only have 4 steps for some reason. How's it going, Mental? I wonder... The Greyhound is nice when you're breaking out. But it also takes losses first. I'm also kind of partial to having a priest, because it means that these forward units would still be able to perform artillery strikes and things. Now, these guys' first action is going to be to cross this river. I think we give them a DD Sherman, because every turn matters. Though technically these guys can go over the bridge and cross. These guys probably can't. We want them to cross right here and hit these guys as hard as possible. To that extent, I'm going to give these guys, on the other side of the bridge, these guys are also important. They have to hold St. Lo, which is very important. And they have to help with the attack across the river. So they're going to get artillery and engineers for crossing the river. And I don't think they need anything else. These guys are going to get the DD tanks. The priests won't be able to help when they cross the river. I kind of think the Greyhound is right to help capture all this territory. If we do break out, the Greyhound is going to be very useful. Here's the thing, our supply is going to be very problematic unless we use this bridge. So we have to secure this bridge and punch to here. That's the most important thing of this entire Western operation. And we have to do it fast. But even then, it would be great if we could take over this city, whatever that is. So I think armored cars are the right call here. It gives a lot of attack. And these guys are going to get one more. I think they're going to get priests. They give artillery shifts on attack, which is pretty valuable. So these guys here, these 3 infantry, need to be able to hold their own and push back, to be honest. What do we have that can be added to the infantry? We can give them a couple of armor shifts. That wouldn't be terrible. They've already got artillery. Yeah, why not try it? All right. Looking back over here. These guys don't have artillery, but they probably should. These guys also should have artillery. These guys are on defense. We don't want them to lose that bridge, but they are going to be hit with everything. So, they also are going to need a 25-pounder and a Churchill. I think we have buffed these guys to the limit. These guys are likely going to need to wrap around, because we're going to need stuff to fill this hole. Do we get reinforcements? Yes. We get reinforcements coming right in there. So those U.S. infantry divisions in Carentan are going to have to come help fill this hole. I almost think that the British armor could also come help fill this hole, but I don't think that we can really afford that. We get more on turn 3 and we get more on turn 5, so it's just going to have to be the U.S. infantry divisions. We're just going to have to do what we can. And once these guys are out of supply for 2 turns, I think that's the moment they can't really attack, so then we can kind of loosen this lineup and slide them around. It's just going to... It's such a tight window. Okay, let's save the 44 prestige. And let's take a look at our supply situation. So we already know their supply situation. They're supplied off-map here, and also here, and there. And there, it looks like. So, on this, if we take this city, and we take this, everybody's cut off. But this city especially, plus this, would cut everything off. So, let's look at our supply situation. I think our trucks are not in the most ideal situation. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3 of them, plus 1 in reserve. We're going to need that 1 in reserve to put, like, here on this road. So is it possible to let up on this a little bit? Can we put 1 truck here that helps everybody? Like here? No. Honestly, you know what? These guys could just back up 1 hex and they'd be in supply. I'm honestly not sure why... Oh, because it's forest. Okay, yeah, if they back up 1 hex, they're in, you know, the crappy 60% supply that we have, which is still better than nothing. And then we don't need any trucks in this entire front. That's really useful. Because that means we can put the trucks to work in St. Lo. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to put 1 here. Well, we don't need... Well, we do need 1 there because of this guy. I wonder why he's out of supply. He's 1 hex away. Anyway. 1 here. Maybe 2 here. Save the 1 in reserve. And then, once we've secured this bridge and the road, we can put a truck, like, on this road. But the good news is the truck in St. Lo also goes down this road. So if we push here and that way, the trucks in St. Lo will provide us with the supply that we need. Okay, now HQ positions. I don't think the U.S. First wants to be here. We need to be closer to the breakthrough point to assist. Are we going to need the U.S. HQ on this front? I don't think so. It's defensive only. They're not going to attack us. They don't have the advantage there. Yeah, I deployed a lot of prestige worth because, man, we needed it. I think we lost a lot of units in the first Overlord fight. One infant, 1 armor is mech, but I haven't seen any of those. But the Germans have those, like the Panzer Grenadiers. These are 1 infantry and 1 armor step. And And then the armor is 2 armor and 1 infantry step. And then the infantry is just 1 infantry step. That's how they get created. Where do we want the U.S. first? We don't want to redeploy it. Oh, we already moved it, so I guess we can't move it again. Whatever. It's in a decent position right now. It can reach down the road and get across the river here as needed for the moment. So, I think the British and Canadians' HQs are in a decent place. They're back and defending. So the Canadians are all of these units on this flank, and the British are all the units right here in the middle. It's actually only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 British units? Because this is Canadian, it looks like. Wait a minute, who is this? Oh, that's a British unit too. It just wasn't lit up before because of the... Yeah, okay, there it is. All right, so we've moved the trucks where we want them. We've moved the HQs where we want them for the most part. I think we're ready to hit the button. How's the weather? Every turn it changes, I believe. But this is the situation now. So yeah, the Bocage. We can only hope that it helps us as much as it helped the Germans. Here's the biggest problem. We've got to take this city. If we take this city, it's much easier to hold this line. Because they can't supply over... Well, there's a bridge there too. I guess we need both of these hexes. So at some point, we've got to let the British armored come through and do their damage. Hopefully after softening it up with some air. All right. I know there are trucks available. There are units on the map out of the supply network. We knew about that. It's the person up here that we're going to move back 1 step to put them back in supply. All right. Oh, man. You're right. USP... I forgot that they... the HQs do miss out on XP and stuff if they are out of range. That's a good point. But, remember, let's do this. So these guys are going to hit here with... Geez, even a set-piece attack doesn't help us much, except 2 times 75% chance to reduce the entrenchment. So we got to do that. That's the best that these guys can do to help push across this bridge, is reduce that entrenchment. All right, so that's all they've done. They've reduced the entrenchment. Congratulations. Now we have to figure out... Oh, we have naval bombardment. Really? Well, that's kind of cool. We're definitely using it on this flank, though. Didn't do much, unfortunately. Because these guys... We don't need to kill those guys. All right, we've got the saturation strike. We were talking about using that right here on the HQ, because the problem with the saturation strike is it has a chance to hit things not on adjacent to. So if we do this, you see it's got the exclamation points in St. Lo. It's like, oh, well, if you bomb here, you might hit your own guys. So we're going to hit this, because I think this mobile unit is very good at attacking. Damn, the motorized have 7 attack per step. That's crazy, and they're veterans. So we're going to hit them and hopefully also hit the people around them. Oh, we did. We hit the guys here and the guys here. Excellent. Now, we're definitely going to add an additional bomb per turn here. And the question is, they're going to be coming at us with 35. Do we use the bombers here at all? I wish the British had entrenchment capabilities. Is the thing. Or do we use the bombers exclusively over here to force the breakout? I think turn 1, the bombers need to be used over here, because this is a time-sensitive thing. Getting down to here is going to take... And getting these guys out of supply only matters if we can do it by, like, turn 2. Because if we do it on turn 5, they're still an effective fighting force. We can't really get rid of them. So, let's see what happens if we do this. Yeah, wow! Those guys are still going to crush our armor. So let's bomb the hell out of them. They're at -1 because they're in forest? Yeah, that's why the armor isn't quite as good there. again. Yes. Now. Now, it wasn't an overrun, but now we can get our armor on the other side of this bridge. And we can crush the HQ. There. And we could hit these guys, but we're weaker. In order for this armor to punch through... Indeed. I think we bomb these guys. In order... because this guy can only attack... Oh, he's weak, though. He's so weak. And bombing them is probably not going to be effective. So instead... we'll move forward, hit these guys, and hope for an overrun. Or do we hit these guys twice? I think we hit those guys twice, because the other armor is not going to have nearly as good a shot. Now, why is that? These guys are 24, 6, and 9. These guys are 24, 7, and 0. But the artillery gives them shifts, so I wonder why that doesn't counteract it. These guys get 3 armor shifts. These guys only get 2 armor shifts because these guys have the DD, or the Shermans, the extra Shermans. All right, we'll hit them hard. Now... oh, no! I shouldn't have moved these guys, I guess. Because now they're trapped without an ability to hit anything useful. Except maybe to use up some of our precious... I don't think we want to do that. These guys can't go into the gap either. Damn it. Well, they're going to move here so that they can attack with artillery on the next turn. Now, here's the thing. I think these guys need to be given trucking capability. So this is going to cost 2 of my last 3 remaining CPs here. But I think it's going to be done because we need to get these guys as far down as possible. Because they need to help cover the flanks of the armor when it breaks through. These guys, too. Actually, no. That doesn't work, does it? I mean, these guys could walk in here, but that doesn't really block anything. So, it's looking okay. What about this situation? Can we do any... yeah, we can do some good attacks here. We breached them, and now we finished them. Now they've got 1 less infantry on the line. I don't know that we want to move forward with either of these groups. Maybe we do. What's the situation with the... I mean, we're putting ourselves right in the lion's mouth there. I don't think we want that. We want to stay in the tree line here. The tree line is helpful and it'll protect these guys. Okay, so now we're looking at this side. We've got a lot of veteran panzer units here that are just terrifying. So, I want to bomb them. But everything's at -1. For what purpose? Why are those at -1? Bocage? These guys should be in the open, but they're at -1 too. Is it just because... oh, because they're entrenched. But everybody's entrenched, so you can't get a better bombing situation here. Let's hit these guys in the airfield. They are the most exposed. Damn. That was great. Now we can use the Canadians to remove that entrenchment. Oh, and they actually ran. We can slide our armor right in there and do something with it. But the British are first going to consider doing some attacks that will reduce the entrenchment here. Breach the entrenchment. And now we can hit them with artillery. these guys are stuck here, but the artillery guys, they can actually move. They can move out of the way and let the armor come forward to do some damage. I'm worried that if we do that, gulp, these guys would be in trouble because they're going to get counterattacked by these guys. Can we... Oh, we don't have the artillery. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I don't want this to counterattack my armor, but I'm afraid I have no choice. Maybe I keep my armor in reserve. Maybe I move my infantry up so that they absorb the enemy's counterattack first. But look at what I've got, the opportunity. Oh, hang on, I can slide these guys right in here. Yeah. We captured the airfield, huzzah. And the airfield was one of our main objectives. And now we're going to do 3 steps worth of damage to those guys? Hell yeah, we are. Now we can move some more infantry forward. And these guys have anti-tank on them, so they were going to take that spot right there. They are going to be in for a world of hurt. I wish I could entrench them. Could we blow a bridge? We could blow a bridge. Do we want to blow this bridge? Attacking across a bridge. I mean, that also reduces our ability. It doesn't seem like there's a huge difference between attacking across a bridge and attacking across a not bridge. The bridge is mainly... Hey there, Amir. How's it going? I'm only concerned about the bridge because if I can get somebody here on this side of the river, they can shell the city before we attack with 3 others. That's a pretty good combination, but I think we're not going to spend the points blowing a bridge right now. We can't anyway, so it's a moot point. Never mind. I didn't realize we only had 2 CPs left. We could fix a bridge. We could build a bridge. I don't think we want to do either of those. Now, with the 2 points, could we shell anything? No. Oh, yeah. Suppressive fire is the only thing we can do. We're going to do that to this armor so that it doesn't hit our guys at Pegasus Bridge there. Or Caen. So they've got vastly reduced steps now. Can we do what next turn? More supplies? More support? What are you saying? I'm going to move this armor here. But taking this city is not going to be the job of the armor. Because they just don't have the capability. Unless they got priests, then they can actually help. So we'll put them here in the hopes that they will be able to help. Now this infantry is the Canadian, and it's a good reserve situation. Where can they go to make sure there's not a hole that gets punched? The Canadian HQ, how far is their reach? Their reach is really far. I think they need to go over here so that the Americans can push forward a little bit. And just give some backup to the Americans. We're going to put them right here so they can go either way across this bridge, whichever way they're needed. Okay, so who hasn't done anything? These guys could also use... Because the Canadians still have forces. Oh, we can do... Damn it, we can kill these guys. Damn! Hell yeah. Do it. Is it better to do... No, it's better to inflict actual casualties. Because remember, if we get to forcing them... Oh, man. That would be super dangerous. Remember we made that exact mistake the last time? No, 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 no. We're going to leave them right where they are. These guys are going to hold this bridge. It's not good defensive terrain, which I'm worried about, but they are elite, and they are only going up against these veteran regular guys, and we've got a lot of specialists helping us to defend. Okay, so that's that side. I think we've got everybody now. Let's go do a quick check. These guys are going to stay right there, so they stay in supply. These guys don't really have the option to do anything. These guys don't either because the Americans are out of CP. Nobody here is going to do anything. Oh, these guys can move. I decided I didn't want to move because if I do, those guys could cross the river and cut my supplies. The supplies are coming in from Cherbourg. They're not coming from... well, they're coming from Carentan, but they're not connected to the rail network via Carentan. This is super important. If we can shell these guys and kick them out of this spot next time, these guys could move forward, and then these guys are free to move and defend. But that's something to consider next time. Right now, the U.S. is out of the ability to shell. These guys don't have the engineers needed to do that either. They could cross here and then attack next turn. Actually, crossing here and attacking, they do worse. That's weird than if they just straight up attacked. I don't understand that. Because they're attacking out of marsh, maybe? I don't know. Oh, because they lose their armor, or their artillery situation. These guys actually, the specialists can go right here, punch that hole, and then these guys are free to move. We'll see how that works. These guys can both use artillery strikes on them before that punch. Because once this is taken, these guys can move forward, and these guys are free to move about the country, so to speak. So we're leaving them where they are for now. These guys could attack. Are they better on attack than defense? They are, technically. But we'd be going up against Bocage, entrenchment, and better veterancy. If they attack us, we get the armor shifts, I believe. Unless armor shift is only on attack. Let's go find out. Is armor shift only on attack? In game terms, this is represented with the armor shift. This is valuable in attack only by definition. If the defender happens to have stronger armor, the shift is 0. Oh, yeah. So even though it's pretty risky to hit either of these guys, we've got to do it because it'll be worse if they attack us. No, not necessarily. Well, yeah, because we won't get the armor or the artillery shifts if they attack us. But if they attack us, they won't get the Bocage or the entrenchment, so they will only get the veterancy. Right now, it's a 4 to a 3, so we get 1 shift in our favor. And they have entrenchment. If they attack us, we get no shifts. They get 1 for veterancy. Actually, we get 1 for Bocage at that point. And the other thing is our artillery is only really good on defense, right? The priest is only really good on defense. Okay, we're holding off. We're going to hold off. They might not attack us after all. We'll see. This, we're going to hope that our guys can get reinforced. One more thing to look at here. Units resupply at the start of each turn. I assume that means the start of your turn, right? I think that's why I've been confused. I've always assumed that these guys are going to get their steps back as long as they're in supply. But I think it doesn't happen until the start of our turn, which means they are very vulnerable right now to this enemy counterattack. Oh, that's a weak enemy. We did blow it the hell up. So the question is, do we use our attack because these guys are doomed? No. We hold on to it. These guys could go either way also. They're just going to stay in reserve where they are. I'm very concerned. Oh, hang on. We can attack them across a river and still will win? What? because they're cornered? And we didn't lose anything. We just got a couple of suppressed steps. But we've got elite guys, that's why. Damn. Well, I'm glad we went through and did this whole process. Can these guys move? No. These guys don't want to go over there either. I don't think you want to take the other side of that major river. It's just asking for trouble. These guys obviously have to stay where they are. There's nobody they can attack realistically. These guys are going to hold... Those are the commandos, the British Airborne. Sorry. All right, that's everybody. Here we go. Turn 1. Counterattack incoming. In T-minus 3, 2, 1. Okay, they held St. Lo. Oh no, they didn't. Damn it all to hell. I did not see that coming. I think we got to restart it right now. Losing those 2 trucks has just screwed the entire operation. Man, I wish we had the ability to entrench. Because everybody's out of supply now. All those guys that were supposed to re-get supply, they didn't get it. Alright, well, I guess you live, you learn. But I don't know how... Those guys attacked across the river, that's why. That's why they took so many step losses. Alright, we're going to restart the scenario. We now have to consider that a lot more carefully. Unfortunately, this is now going to take Farging forever to do the same thing we did before. Okay. We decided we wanted DD tanks on these guys, I believe. And Greyhounds, I believe. Or was it... Oh, an armor step. And regular Shermans. Give them double DDs. These guys we gave the Greyhounds to. And we are out of range. That's why we needed to move the first army. Can we move it here and still be in range of everybody over there? Yes, yes we can. Alright, so these guys... 1, 2, 3, and now we got to give these guys good stuff. Good stuff. We're giving them artillery. Who's got good defenses? We give them Shermans to help defend. I wish we had anti-tank. We don't have any anti-tank like the British do. That's interesting. But we definitely, if we give them... Oh, sorry, M10s is what I'm thinking of. We don't have anti-tank. We have mobile anti-tank in the form of M10s, which also give armor shifts, which is well, more defense and stuff. We could give more Shermans. Those aren't as good on defense. We'll give engineers, because then they can attack across the river like they did last time and maybe take fewer step losses. Yep, them M10 Wolverines is good. Well, you would give these guys 1 artillery step. Is expensive. I can't do it. We'll come back to it. Those guys don't need anything else. All the armor has its stuff. Over here, we needed these guys to get deployments. And we decided we wanted them to have Fireflies in the city. Well, you know what? We've only got 1 Firefly. We want to give that to the actual mobile units. We want to give them a 17-pounder just in case. Even though they're in a city, they probably don't need a 17-pounder, do they? If they ever moved out of the city, they would need a 17-pounder. Because armor can't get shifts in a city. That's actually ruins. Armor shift limitations. When attacking across rivers, into cities, ruins, mountains, etc., there's no armor shift. So I think we can give them something besides the 17-pounder. We don't want to give them commandos. That's very valuable for other reasons. We want to give them good defensive bonuses. Cromwell's better for attack. Let's give them the 25-pounder, because that is good on defense, and it will help suppress stuff if we need to. That's an extra 6. I don't think we want to give them our only commando. Do we need to give them anything else? The enemy attacking in here is going to be kind of a nightmare. Hang on, our guys all have entrenchment. I didn't even notice that. That's kind of cool. A lot of our guys do anyway. Let's come back to them. These guys need reserves. And these guys are going to be our anti-tank with the Firefly and the Churchill. And really, we could also give them the Cromwell. Because, honestly, there's only one other armor that we can give anything to, and they're going to get the Churchill, I think. Or do we give the Churchill and the Cromwell that are left to infantry? Let's give these guys extra punch. Now for the infantry. Still no infantry steps to deploy here, so we give that to them. We can give these guys extra defensive armor, yes, but also extra offensive armor. I would only want to give commandos to somebody who's really going to use it well. $17-pounder for sure. Okay, they're all... Oh, you know what? Maybe not a 17-pounder. Those guys are good for attacking. Anybody that's specialist is good for attacking. So maybe we give them a priest, because that helps attacks. Or a Cromwell, because that helps negate armor shifts. So these guys could be better at attacking enemy armor, specifically. Hobart's funnies are already helping. So maybe we get the priest to give artillery shifts. Even after they've moved. That's pretty good. These guys do have steps. These guys can get Cromwells as well for attacking enemy armor. And 25-pounder for being defensive. These guys will get a 25-pounder. Man, we don't have anybody to give those commandos to, do we? Unless... Yeah, we don't have... We could give these guys commandos. How valuable is that? I don't know. They're elite. If we give them the commandos, I think... Well, we can undo it, right? No, it doesn't, because it's not regular replacements. Wow. They are super crazy strong now. Especially if we were to give them some ability to project power with artillery or a Cromwell. Let's hold off and look at the other situation here. We're running out of prestige. I want these guys... They have regular artillery. They've got anti-tank M10s. Let's give them anti-armor on the attack Shermans. Oh, actually, M10s are on the attack as well. Whereas the Shermans can give them armor shifts against infantry. Valuable. If these guys are going to come join in the main attack, what can they have that helps? Greyhounds. Now it says enables recon and force for infantry units, 3.6. I can't remember what recon and force means. Oh, it's a special ability that you can only do if you have the headquarters that supports it. Capture an adjacent hex in enemy territory without getting caught in any Zocs. The hex must be clear of enemy units and may contain supply hubs, blah, blah, blah. So recon and force is something that you get from the HQ. It's an operations thing. So we're not going to get that. Yeah, the Hobart's funnies are good in those fields. I can't give the guys in St. Lo any more than I've already given them. I want them to have even more, though. I've only got 29 left. Do I do... I think this right-hand flank is probably okay now, but these guys maybe need something else. They don't have any artillery. That's a problem. Alright, I think we've given more than we did last time. Probably too much. And we moved up our HQ. We got to change the trucks around, right? And the truck over here provides supply to everybody, but I think we can even move that a little bit further. Let's put it right there. And then we are going to put 2 trucks here and keep the other one in reserve. And we have to hold St. Lo. We have to. This time, we don't want these guys to take all those suppressed steps. They would have been way better off if they hadn't had those suppressed steps. So we got to take that into account. Okay, ready to go. So these guys back up. Now, I might actually be able to accomplish something. No. I do want to hit that weak spot, but so the thing is, the set piece attack, is this what caused them to take so many step losses? It might have been. We do want to do the saturation strike in the same place. Unfortunately, we didn't get the side pieces or the retreat. Set piece attack won't suppress too many steps, I don't think. Yeah, we still got artillery for defense, too. So now that we've done that, these guys are no longer entrenched. Alright, so then these guys can come across, punch a hole, which allows these guys to come in, like last time, punch that hole. Unfortunately, it didn't force the HQ to retreat. Alright, but these guys are in a much better position. They only have one step that's been suppressed, rather than, like, all of them. Alright, next up, what do the Americans still have for... We have 3 left. So, these guys can come down here. We got to provide support for all the armor. It's all got to work together. So these guys are going to come here. Now these guys can come here. These guys can probably just go fill in over here to defend Carentan. That's too bad. Although technically, these guys can go here. And these guys can't quite get to there, so we got to truck them to here to defend that. All right, that's good. That's about as good as we can do on that flank. So then that does raise the question, what to do with these guys? Can these guys get out of there? No, they're trapped in St. Lo. So we did do this last time, which was super effective. They can actually attack again? Holy crap. Oh no! We never gave these guys their steps! Oh, that's a disaster. Let's move them back. Okay, so we kind of have to do a little bit of sneaking around here. These guys need to back off. These guys will hold that line. These guys will hold this line. And these guys will hold this line. Once these guys get their steps back, we can reverse that whole trend. But, we can still hit them. And we're not moving forward. These guys have the DD Sherman, so they've got some defense against armor shifts, but not a lot. Now we've got one more air attack if we need it. And we did have the artillery strike we could use against this. Huzzah! Now over here, we've got all our CPs left for the British, I believe, and for the Canadians. How do we use that? Well, we run a set-piece attack from these guys to clear out the entrenchment. It only cleared out one level of the entrenchment, which sucks. Do we bomb them? We're not doing nearly as well over here because we don't have the artillery. Oh, these guys do have artillery. Okay, so they can do another set piece. There we go. So now we can have this armor come in here like it did last time. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Set piece attack against these guys. Thank you, Brits. Breached them, but didn't really do much. Now that they're breached, bomb them. There we go. Okay. That's no good. Now, if I remember correctly, we actually had the ability to shell these guys last time. Canadians are good at that. Which allowed these guys to inflict some heinous damage. And it was an overrun, actually, so technically... Oh, they can attack these guys and probably not take damage? That's kind of crazy, but the attacker could still get suppressed here, and I don't want to lose these guys to suppression. Their steps are too important to stay for defense. Now, all these guys in the front line are kind of trapped where they are. Those guys aren't going to have anything good to do. All right. I can only hope that St. Lo is going to be better defended here this time. Because they haven't lost nearly as many combat steps. Let's go through the motions and check everybody. You know, I could go and capture this. Man, that seems like a dangerous thing, though, doesn't it? Yeah. These guys do have 17-pounders, but they're suppressed upon movement. So moving forward with those guys is inviting a counterattack. All right. Let's see if we can do better this time. Oh, they attacked Khan instead. And they... Damn, they roughed it up bad. Jesus, they're attacking across the river. Oh, no! Well, crap. That got worse. How is this so much worse? Well, they took a lot of losses for that, actually. And they didn't get St. Lo. And they've left us open to the west. We can get Khan back. We just need it by turn 6. Oh, supply is disrupted everywhere. How come? Just 'cause, I guess. That means these guys didn't get their damn steps. That's so BS. Oh, man. I can give them emergency supply. Gulp. Well, first things first. Definitely crush these guys, right? I don't think we even want to bother using specialist attacks here. We don't need it. Now we can move somebody else into that hole, like these guys. And then we can get Wheeler's Bocage. The problem is Khan. God, it's defended by armor now. Now, the armor doesn't get any special bonuses. It's just elite armor. So it's 7 times 7. He's got 49 step damage there, plus the elite. That's going to be a goddamn nightmare. We may need to use, like, every bomber on that all the time. There, we got 1 step down. That's 7. That may have been a big mistake. I maybe could have used that over here, but it looks like we're actually doing okay over here. You know, until you actually look at the stuff. Jesus. Yeah, I definitely could have used it over here. I really thought that we'd have a much better situation there. So we could, what? Suppress them? Yeah. With the priest. We could give these guys full supply, but it only helps the 1 step. God, that's 3 for 1? What else am I going to need to do? I was thinking about shelling these guys for the attack. Because it would free up an infantry unit that can come around. This is more important. Here you go. You got full supply now. And we're going to do a pinning attack here. We can't do a pinning attack? Oh, not if we do the full supply thing. What if we do the pinning attack instead? Can't do shelling, just pinning. Now we can do it. Boom! We lost one, though. Oh boy. Oh my. We are free to move about the country. I mean, whatever we send here is probably dead. But everybody on that side is out of supply. Oh, you know, he's going to get back in supply if he captures this. And the breakout we have to hold. Jeez, is this a good idea? He gets supply going here. And he'll cut the enemy supply, which means these guys don't get their steps back. Very important. I think we gotta try it, right? Hey, we got the breakout. I don't know if we're gonna hold it, but we will try. And being back here in the enemy's back line is gonna really they have to send stuff to stop them. Otherwise, they're gonna keep capturing barrels and stuff. We could go as far as helping to defend that. Not too far, though. Capture the prisoners. So here's where this thing comes in. We don't even have enough for a pinning attack. Damn it. Alright, now these guys can cross the river, and these guys are free to move down here and guard the HQ. So that actually worked pretty well. This armor being out of supply is a major problem for him on this flank. Now, what are we going to do in the rest of this area? So these guys, who are these guys? He's the 101st, or the 1st U.S. Oh, okay, that's the, yeah, that's who we know it is. Okay. So we suppress these guys in the city. And then we hit them. And they run. And who do we move in to take it? These guys to finish them off? Probably. So we've got armor defending the city there, which is not awful, but it's not great either. And we've got, who is this, Canadian? No, it's US. Continue to punch holes in their line is good. Can't really hit them because we don't have any of that. So now, I think this is where we do send the Canadian infantry over here to help fill in the hole for the Americans. Doesn't need to be, you know, a lot. Just one extra unit to help hold the areas here is pretty valuable. These guys will both get supply as long as a counterattack doesn't knock out this unit. And to be honest, with this armor gone, I don't think he has anything that can counterattack this effectively. He'd have to go across a river to do it, and that's, you know, problematic. Or we can actually help defend that too. Can we get anybody else over there? No. No. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we can push a little further. Move this into here. And move this to there. Now, who moves forward to collect this and potentially attack across a river? These amphibious specialists who can't make it there, son of a bitch. But it's on the road. It's right there. Okay, well. We captured more enemy stragglers. Now, the British gained stragglers, it said there. But... oh, that's not what I meant to do. I was looking at the... I was trying to click on the HCP. Here we go. So we actually... can we deploy these? No, we can't deploy those. We can deploy these. Can't deploy the armor without buying stuff. But we could deploy a Churchill to somebody. Who needs it? Well, maybe these... oh. Only 2 guys can get it. 3 guys can get it. Let's give it to these guys who are full strength, because we gotta take Caen back now. And I guess the only way we're going to do it is to cross these rivers. And man, that is going to be hard. They're specialists. Do we trust them to do this and not take losses? It says there's a 67% chance that we take 2 suppression. We only lost 1. Okay, that's good. Mission accomplished. Can't attack across the major river. These guys are dug in on the other side of Caen. These guys could cross over. How would that help us? We could build a bridge. Do the British 2nd have bridge building capabilities at the moment? Are we just going to open ourselves up to massive attacks if we do? I think we are. We'll leave them right where they are. I think the bomber's just going to have to keep shelling this unit in particular. See, these other Panzer units, they're weaker. And they're not elite. That extra shift is going to make a huge difference. Okay, let's see what hasn't been activated yet. These guys are already activated. These guys haven't activated, but they're just holding the line, holding the line, holding the line. Oh, we have to take Lessay. By when? By turn 6. Okay, we're going to do that. In fact, there we go. Now we've got artillery adjacent to Lessay, so we can start shelling that next time. We've got 2 artillery adjacent to it. Nope, we don't want to do that. Let's redo this. These guys will okay, I got it. I got it. I want the artillery across the road. That's what I want. Across the river, rather. The guys that don't have artillery have to make the direct attack. There we go. Okay, now we're in a better position. We got artillery and artillery that can hit them, and then these guys make the direct attack onto there after. Now, we don't have any more units to deploy from here either. We'll start getting stragglers like these guys here, making their way in. Okay, now that we've done what we can. Not good attacks. Just hold on to your Bocage there, boys. Now this is a very strong unit. We have to figure out where to use it. I think we need to use it in the attack on Caen. But how do we get it there is the question. Let's put it here for now. We want to take this bridge and attack Caen from this direction and attack it from this direction. That's the only real option we're going to have here. We can actually get all the way over here with these guys. They've been out of supply for a turn. Would they be out of supply if they go there? Hard to say. Let's go look at our supply situation. It's actually this one would be feeding them. No, they wouldn't be out of supply if they go there, it looks like. Oh, actually, they might be because the Bocage probably slows it down. So these guys are going to be out of supply for one turn, but that's fine. They can come counterattack something. I really need these guys to get their damn supply rolls. The 60% is killing me, and there's no way to get it higher this particular operation. Even 10% more would make a huge advantage. Do we put them here? I think that would be in supply. Yeah, that would be in supply. But how does that help us? That doesn't really help us. I think we're going to keep where we are. So the armor, this armor can try to punch across here. Once we get a hole... Oh, these guys could move, and the armor could punch across. Ooh, I just found a new thing I could do. These guys retreated from Caen, I think. They need to chill over here. No, they need to chill on the railroad so that they guaranteed to get supplies. These guys can come back across the river one step. Punch the keys, for God's sake. And now, armor, go back. Just retreat. There we go. That works. Okay. Now the armor can't get counterattacked. We'll keep the specialists there defending. You know what? Getting these guys to here... No, it's not worth it. All right. We're doing okay. I think. Maybe. Let's find out. En route units. Oh, I forgot we could deploy reinforcements. Excellent. These guys come with a step already pre-suppressed. That sucks. And hey, how come... Really? They're a single step, but they're fargan elite, I guess. Well, let's get them down to here. Who else do we have bringing in? 2 suppressed steps. Aw, come on, this is nonsense. Okay. So I can only hope that our supply rolls are better this turn than last turn, because we got 11 supply disrupted last turn, and that was a disaster. Especially our armor. We just need our armor to make those rolls, please. That's all we need. Everybody else can get screwed up. Alright. I could deploy this truck somewhere. If I deploy it here, doesn't help us. These guys can get back in supply, or they can stay down here and hold the breakout. I don't know where the enemy's coming in. Does the enemy have reinforcements? Yes. Where are they coming from? There. And for some reason they deploy in the center of the map. That's weird. And these guys come in on the right as well. So there's no reinforcements coming from the south. Which means next turn we can run some quick recon. Oh, we have 3 this turn. Oh, but 6 in the total scenario. We can run some recon and see where these guys should be going, but the enemy's going to reveal their moves here in a second. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Oh, damn, they blew the bridge! That's going to be impossible to repair. But you know what that means? They just cut their own supply. The U.S. Oh, we only lost 5 suppressed units. Thank God. Okay, so now we need to use our air recon here. Is there I don't think there's anybody holding this over here, right? That's the real question. So I'm checking here. I'm checking here. Like, I'm worried about holding Breakout D, but that's okay. So they cut their own supply by breaking that bridge. So let's see if we can get less A. No, wait, let's hold off on that. These guys can come up here and punch. But only, and these guys are green, but somehow still we would take some damage because of the trees. We wouldn't get our armor shifts. These guys never... Oh, they did get some of their steps back, but they didn't get all of them. These guys are all going to be weaker and weaker every turn from now on. So we'll take Coutances on turn 6. Caen is now much more concerning. These guys missed their supply this turn too, so we've got to pay for them to get it. That's a big payment from the Canadian First Army CPs. But we've got to do it. And we're going to bomb these guys to make it possible to be doing something useful. Yes, that's exactly what we're looking for. Now we can punch a hole through their back line. And though technically we can attack, we're not going to. These guys can now cut the supply to Caen. Now they're still getting it from the trucks over there, which is disappointing, but get these guys out of the way. These guys can now come fill this hole. We're out of supply. Damn it. We can move that truck one further forward. And now remove this truck. I kind of wanted to use a bomber on these guys, but... I want to take this spot right here. That blocks all reinforcements, basically. Thinking about it now, we've probably got a good shot at forcing these guys to retreat and weakening them. So they don't have a zone of control so that this guy can come steal the barrels. Yep. That'll put all these guys south of St. Lo out of supply too. Oh, there's an enemy there. Well, hello, Mr. Panzer. Still, we've now got a decently strong unit holding this river bridge. If this Panzer had gotten across that bridge, we'd have been in big trouble. These guys can now get back in supply. Oof, if they do, though. If they do. No, nothing can cross this bridge. All right. Now we're in good shape. Oh man, even a suppressing fire won't actually suppress them? Because they're entrenched, huh? And they're in forests. But a pinning attack will work. And they won't get any of their suppression back. We don't have the CPs to do anything else, so we'll just wait till next turn. We don't need to make these attacks. Next turn, it'll be far easier. Maybe the turn after that. All right, now let's pay attention to the center here. Well, these guys are dead, for sure. Unfortunately, we don't have the capability to really hit those guys. But we also don't have to, per se. What do we have to do here? I think what we need to do here is get across this here. And then, actually, back up. These guys that are out of supply, they need the engineers to do this more effectively. So we're going to put them back in supply. And they can crush this. We'll go here. These guys will cross as well, and now what we need to do, Canadians, build a bridge here, and then the British build a bridge there, and now we're in a position to flank Caen once those two bridges are built. Just keep pumping them dead. Can we build another bridge? No, we're out. I want another bridge right here, but that's okay. They did not go out of supply. That's good. Now we got to hold this city to make sure they don't break through there. These are American US. Let's send them in to knock out more panzers. These guys can hold. These guys will need to be ready to drive across the bridges. Is this a dangerous route we've just left open? I don't think so, but I'm going to put somebody here just in case. Because if they come and hit this real hard with surprise reinforcements, then they can force their way through and disrupt all our supplies and everything. We don't want that. So having a too deep zone of control there is a good idea. All right. So far, I think this is going pretty good. These guys, they have artillery? Yes, they do. They can get in position to shell Caen next turn. I think that Canadian armor is going to be in a bit of a pickle. Ah, I forgot the reinforcements can come forward. Oh, geez, I almost left this open for these guys. These guys can do it. Okay, there we go. They can cover that. I'm still kind of worried. Well, those guys are actually very weak. They'll recover some steps at the beginning of their turn, though. Yeah, building those bridges, super valuable for us. We need these HQs to get some upgrades soon. Need to make these things less costly. All right, let's see what they do now. I'm counting on nothing have been stationed in Saint-Malo. You know what I'm also counting on? Unfortunately, I'm counting on nothing coming from this direction. Although I did look at it with the intelligence. But this guy could maybe go all the way around and recapture it. That would be dangerous. Maybe I made a mistake there. And I'm going to lose it. Who's out of supply? I don't see anybody out of supply. There are... Oh, en route units. That's what that was. It was a different thing. Yeah, I'm going to put them also on the railroad so they get their supplies for sure. Okay. Cross your fingers they don't go take that breakout back. I would be so disappointed. Fuck. Is that it? Can I get it back or is it gone forever? I don't know. We'll try to take it back and see what happens. Oh, boy, look at that. Yeah, we can still get it. Okay. But, boy, that's a strong enemy there. I don't know how we're going to do it. I guess we got to bomb them. Lots of bombs. There we go. Okay. Well, we did get it back. We should send another armor to help defend it. This guy can actually come and disrupt the HQ, and we can send an infantry down to hold that. No, we can't. Damn it. Oh, that's Canadian infantry. That's why they can't be trucked. Trucking still doesn't let us do it. Okay, so undo the truck. They are still going to inflict heavy casualties. That's really annoying. What? How are these guys so strong? Oh, the weather. The weather! Oh, that is unlucky. Look at that. I think we gotta start inflicting some damage on these guys. Alright, got rid of their entrenchment. Now, let's go back to this. Can we hit them with artillery? No, we used the whole damn thing, huh? Alright, well, it's only turn 4. They're going to start losing steps next turn. They're going to get suppressed. Get retreat. Come on. Get out of there. Son of a bitch. Ugh. This stupid weather. Okay, we still got one bomber. Maybe I should have used it on that guy. I wanted to disrupt the HQ, but it doesn't seem like that's going to matter at all. They're so out of supply. Okay. Now, to our previous engagement. you kill them? No, you can't, huh? That's too bad. Why can't you do any of these things? No feint attack across rivers requires artillery. Okay. Well, maybe you need to run away. You held the area, and we're proud of you for that, but I think it's time. Let the big boys in. Geez, suppressing fire is going to have almost no effect. Huh. Well, we tried. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Alright, we got to use the British Airborne to get the job done. They're gone. Good night. Khan is back under our control. So this whole eastern flank has collapsed. And we could really go farther afield, but there's no real valuable point to it. Now it's just about taking Lessay and Coutances. Let's use the scout planes, as you suggested, to see what we got coming in. What can't we see? That's good news. Nothing hiding back there in those specific spots. All right. We're not going to go any further forward. That's just asking for trouble. We got to hold that breakout spot so he's not moving. We could get closer with these guys, and I think we should. Can we move with these guys too? No. Well, these guys could move. That seems very dangerous. I can't remember. So these guys are 2 turns out of supply. So what does it mean when they're 3 turns out of supply? This is very important at this moment. Supply effects. So the first turn, there's no recovery of previously suppressed steps. We knew that. 2 turns, they get no action point, which means they can't attack. And some of their steps become suppressed. After being 3 turns out of supply, they get no action point, 1 less movement than usual, and all steps are suppressed and can't take terrain while moving. So that's where they're gonna be next time, I think. No, this is 2 turns out of supply, so they're just gonna get some steps suppressed. Okay. Let's not take the chance. We got 2 turns left. We can do it. And look, there's nothing defending Coutances. They got the big fight getting ready over here, though. I'm a little concerned about that. Where can the HQ move to still be effective? Do we move it directly into Saint-Lô? Yeah, I think so. Because although we lose the ability to do special attacks with these guys, we still have the ability to shell them with those 2. Well, actually, I don't want you threatening Saint-Lô. So I'm going to hit these guys. Big time boom. Okay. Is that the big red one? Yeah, it is. The big red one is fantastic. It's got the... It's elite. That makes a huge difference. Each step above in veterancy, each step above the enemy gives you a full shift in combat, which is crazy good. Oh, I didn't even see this attack. This is why we check. Probably these guys should be crossing. I actually don't need this last truck, do I? Everybody's still in supply, except down here. Here's where I can put the extra truck to use. Okay. We can actually put it this far down? Holy crap. I guess we'll do that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 away from a railhead that we control. That'll do. All right. It's looking good, but they might have something sneaky up their sleeve. Oh, they did! Those bastards. I didn't see that. Arrivederci. It's okay. They put themselves out of supply to do it. It's still annoying. If we get this, does that get all these guys in supply? I don't know. These guys just need to grab the city here. We'll bomb the hell out of these guys. Those guys are screwed. They can't do anything, so it doesn't matter that this is what we're going to do here. Now, about these areas. Hey, we finally got some upgrades. Ooh, specializing them to only cost 1 for suppressive fire seems damned useful. Because now we're going to use it. Even though it doesn't do much. Damn it, those guys refuse. Oh. They were actually already suppressed. That's why that didn't work. Oh! Oh, it's the next one down! I've been wrong this whole time. There we go. We got it. Hey, we got a saturation strike. Not going to use it for this fight, but thanks anyway. We do want to run up the score here. More prisoners, more points. Good times. All right, we have all objectives taken, but we have to hold breakout all the way until turn 6. It looks like we should be able to do that. Even though these guys are going to be out of supply, there's nothing that can threaten them unless it comes from this direction. Unfortunately, we can't do much to help that. These guys can't do shit. They're out of supply, and they're going to stay out of supply. And they're going to start dying out of supply. 3 turns out of supply, they're going to start losing all suppressed steps, can't take terrain. 4 or more, they get 3 steps converted to stragglers every turn. So, we got 1 more scout plane. Still know there's nothing over there. Bigger points, bigger scores, go! Technically, I don't like leaving this armor up here to do what it's going to do, so we're going to back off and defend that. Man, it looked so impossible to defend Khan and then to get it back when it failed. But, so far so good, I guess. Those guys are out of supply. Maybe we don't want to do that then? Can we get them both back? Yes, we can. They'll guard that river. Ah! Yes, goodbye. You too. You didn't get supply last turn or something? What happened? They still have the ability to hit them. The big red one, baby! Alright. I want them to stay along our river since they are out of supply. Or railhead, rather. Let's just go. I think we got this. Oh, we have en route units and air attacks. Of course. And what can we use the air attack against? What are we really worried about? These guys are probably the strongest ones they've got. There we go. That doesn't hurt. What are they going to do? What sneaky things do they have this time? Nothing. They had nothing. Excellent. Let's end the scenario. Let's call it right there. Whew. Killed a lot of enemy units, took a lot of prisoners, lost very few in comparison to the last one. But we did use all of our prestige to make that happen, right? We had to do a lot of reinforcing to make this work the way it did. The good news is, hopefully, next turn we won't have to. So we got plus 40%. I guess that's because we ended it early? Where's that plus 40% coming from? Oh, because we're playing on a higher difficulty level? I don't know. We don't really care about the score. If we cared about the score, we'd stay in order to perform another round of prisoner taking and things like that. So here's the good news. We're on Overlord, Battle of the Bocage, and then Breakout is going to be easier because we captured the Breakout before. So I don't know that there is an alternate path in the Breakout like there is in Italy. The Rush for the Apennines is a special alternate set of fights, and then if we did well there, we would have been able to push through the Ljubljana Gap and go after other pieces in, looks like Yugoslavia, almost? Trieste? Anyway, but that doesn't seem to have a lot of alternate history stuff here in the main thing. Unless Hurtgen and the things on the right and left are part of it. If staying on the historical track, clearing the Scheldt objective means skipping the Scheldt scenario entirely. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so the alternate history here for this European mainland scenario up here is if Market Garden is successful, if you take Arnhem as part of Market Garden, then you get this entire alternate history track over here. Including, potentially, Operation Unthinkable, where we fight the Soviets, which is a really cool idea. So we'll do that tomorrow. And until then, have a good one, everybody. Bridger, signing off.